Hello, kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Thursday weather update. Plenty more heavy rain on the way for the upper South Island and now parts of the North Island as well, as this atmospheric river continues to come on through. On the satellite map today, we've got the water vapor map. It shows where all the moisture is up in the atmosphere. Bright white indicates rain, or at least high humidity, and the darker colours show drier air, southerlies, for example, out here in the Tasman. So you can certainly see this explosion out of the tropics, at least explosion in the atmosphere, southwards down and across the New Zealand area. This is a really big, significant plume of moisture coming out of the tropical part of the world. So that's the reason why we're seeing that rain, because it's coming straight in like that. Nelson, Marlborough Sounds, Takaka, Golden Bay, those areas are still most exposed. You can also see that westerly change coming through to Australia. A bit of rain in front of the front and behind the front, the back of the front. The darker area means things are drying back out again for you. This map here is the animated wind map. Now it also shows, and it's for later on today, around about 1 p.m. Sydney time and about sort of 3 o'clock New Zealand time. It shows 3-hour rainfall accumulation as well. This is really useful because it shows you the atmospheric river that we're talking about. You can see it very clearly coming down into the New Zealand area. So the heaviest rain in the bright colours here, which you'll also notice somewhat showing up around that top of the South Island area. That's the reason why we've still got more heavy rain as it continues to feed straight in there. We're also seeing heavier rainfall totals around King Country, Central Plateau and out towards Taranaki. And you can also see that cold front coming into Australia. The white just indicates sort of light rain or patchy sort of stuff coming through as it moves through there for you. And dry everywhere else in Australia at the moment. Look at the rain map for New Zealand. This was taken mid-morning on Thursday. Thank you to Met Service for this. Look at all that rain right across the country. Heaviest falls up around Northland. Some heavy falls around Auckland. It's a bit patchy in the Auckland area. And still got that rain stuck around the upper part of the South Island. And you can see that animated at Weather Watch and Rural Weather. Here's the next 24 hours of rainfall. Significant areas are here around the upper South Island where we're talking 125 millimetres still yet to come in, and around Taranaki and up here around Northland around 80, 90, 100 millimetres still to come on through. This is the flood risk map. At a glance, the areas with the white arrows show you've got rain that's heavy enough to cause flooding, but on a localised scale. So more about sort of the road you live on, or maybe the farm you're on, the local sort of area. So parts of Northland, King Country and around Taranaki. Not so concerned about the Central Plateau. Drains off very well in that area. Now in the South Island, we've got two sets. You've got some of that localised flooding on the west coast, so that's good news. The rain is starting to sort of ease back there from where it's been, but we've still got rain heavy enough to cause widespread slips, flooding and road closures from Golden Bay, Takaka over to Nelson and the Marlborough Sounds. And that's up until 6 p.m. on Friday. Here is the 3-day rainfall map now, and it still shows some really big totals around that upper part of the South Island. 150 to 200 millimetres still yet to come through there, and still could be 150 or 200 millimetres up in the mountains further down the west coast. We're also now seeing rainfall totals over 150 millimetres for Mount Taranaki, and in the very north and in the areas with pink, around that sort of 80, 90, 100 millimetre mark. By the way, in Auckland, our largest city, around about 60 millimetres coming through for the next few days ahead. That's sort of not too problematic. In Australia, we haven't forgotten about you, but look, there's not much to talk about. No rain really for most of the country, but we've got a few showers and that patchy rain coming through here with that cold front. Heaviest totals around Tasmania, 45, 50 millimetres there. In Victoria and Melbourne, only about 15 to 25 millimetres in that southeastern corner there. Let's now get into the forecast. Here we are for Friday. And that northerly flow carries on into the New Zealand area, still warmer than average by a number of degrees, especially at night time. No frosts at all in the north. A bit of rain around, but it's mostly down in the upper South Island, Cook Strait area. Now there could be some more here as it moves on in, as it slides across, so we're not totally done, but as you can see there is a bit of a break. It's not raining all day across Friday in the north or the south, and that cold front now leaving Australia, and behind it there come the windy westerlies, which are returning once again. As we go into Saturday, that westerly change arrives into the New Zealand area. So you can see we've still got northerly winds, but they're tilting more westerly as it comes out of Australia. So northwesterlies blowing through the North Island, still got rain and showers moving through. The good news around Nelson and Marlborough and Takaka and Golden Bay is that the rain starts to ease back this weekend. Look at your rainfall totals, they're much lower as you go into Saturday and Sunday, but as you can see here on Saturday, still got rain along the western side of the country being blown by that westerly change that's come out of Australia. And now, by the way, in the southeastern corner here of Aussie, up come the southerlies. So you've got a bit of a colder change for you on Saturday that will go up into parts of New South Wales as well. Not very cold, but cold enough to be noticed. And also ACT, you might just be right on the edge of that wet weather. Now by Sunday, the wet weather in Australia moving out to sea, almost the entire country is dry as we go through the day. Over in New Zealand though, it's a little bit more messy. We've still got the westerlies blowing through, or northwesterlies for the top of the country, but a colder southerly now coming through on Sunday for the lower part of the country, and that final area of low pressure also moving through, but Nelson, Takaka, mostly dry. Just a few showers coming through as that system pushes through. And we go into Monday, and look at that, it's getting drier, but still not perfect. Still a few showers lingering in the one area where we don't really want them still, Nelson and Marlborough, top of the South Island. The totals aren't huge, but there just could be a little burst of wet weather coming through. And look at Australia. On Monday, look at this colder change coming through from Western Australia all the way over to Victoria. You'll be getting that southerly change coming in at around about the same time, which does not happen that often across such a large area. But further north, once again, very dry. And something we'll talk about more next week once the flooding in New Zealand has come to an end is the talk now of La Nina coming back. We've been mentioning that for a couple of months, but now things are starting to ramp up more, and we could be looking at a record third La Nina in a row. And I got to say, the weather in New Zealand at the moment, it feels very much like La Nina is on the horizon. Before I go, please go to ruralweather.co.nz for your rainfall totals. I appreciate this is a little bit hard to read on the screen, but if you go to Rural Weather, here is Nelson's rainfall today, 78 more millimetres to come through, and tomorrow 76. So it's about 140 just there coming through or more. But as you go into the weekend, only 12 millimetres for Saturday and 4 for Sunday. Over here in Takaka, we've got a 99.3, 100 millimetres basically coming through today. And we go through tomorrow, it's around about 70 more millimetres. And then Saturday, we're down to about 10 or 11. So it's tapering off in the weekend, but we've still got a lot more rain to come through over the next 2 days. That's all from me for today. Thanks for all the support on YouTube. Really appreciate the comments, and on our website at weatherwatch.co.nz. Thank you. We'll see you again on Friday with our next update.